Welcome back to Obscured Reality, continuing the saga
Yep.
of how to create a conspiracy theory. Missing Major General William Neal McCasland. Tonight's not about him. It's about three more new ones that just popped up. One of them just happened. If you haven't heard it already, you're going to like this. We're going to go through each three really quick. On the second one, I do want to show a news article as I go through it. Probably not the whole thing, but and we'll just recap with the list of people that are missing or mysteriously missing and deceased or mysteriously deceased. So let's begin. These just came out in the last few days. So the first one, Matthew James Sullivan. He was age 39, died on May 12th, 2024. He has been described in reporting as a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer. We see a trend here, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
His death has been reported as ding, 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 a suicide. There are no widely reported public details about the specific method or scene. In the context surrounding his death, he has been described as being involved in discussions related to UAP topics and as someone who was expected to provide information or testimony in that area. He was actually scheduled to testify in a federal whistleblower case regarding UAPs or UFOs. Next, we have Joshua LeBlanc. He was a Huntsville, Alabama area. Ding, ding, ding. Another trend. Huntsville, Alabama. Individual connected to the aerospace environment. He was reported missing before being found deceased on July 22nd, 2025, inside a Tesla vehicle that had crashed and caught fire. The vehicle was discovered burned with his body inside, or let's say a body. The incident has been described as a fatal crash followed by a vehicle fire, with the discovery occurring after he had been unaccounted for. Now, real quick, I want to share a news article with you. Let me share my screen right now. So this is from KLFY, New Iberia, Louisiana. I want to share this for two reasons. You see the date up here, news article date July 25th, 2025. So this isn't a recent article from today talking about something that happened a year ago. This is current from when this happened, and there's other reasons too. So the family of Joshua LeBlanc, New Iberia native and NASA electrical engineer, is searching for answers after his car was found abandoned and burned beyond recognition 2 hours away from his home in Huntsville, Alabama. I find it interesting they use the word abandoned if he was in the vehicle, or at least a body was. Confirmed him or not, I don't know. Maybe we'll see a little more here. But why use the word abandoned? LeBlanc, 29, was reported missing earlier this week after he failed to show up for work Tuesday morning. According to family members, his last communication came at 4:32 a.m. that day. So normal day, scheduled for work, supposed to be going to work.
Originally, did not go to work.
Supposed to. Yeah. Originally from New Iberia, LeBlanc graduated from Catholic High and later earned his degree from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. He had relocated to Huntsville, Alabama, where he worked at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. NASA. Oh, and let's not forget Air Force. Mum is the word with them for decades. Authorities, at least with this topic.
Yeah.
Authorities in Alabama tracked LeBlanc's blue Tesla Model 3 using vehicle data. The car reportedly sat at the Huntsville International Airport for 4 hours early Tuesday morning, just 12 minutes from his apartment, before traveling west along rural back roads. I'd like to know more about why his vehicle was at the airport. 4 hours seems like a long time to just be picking someone up. And he's supposed to be going to work. Doesn't quite make sense. And then it traveled out into some rural back roads. By 2 p.m. Tuesday, the vehicle was discovered in Florence, Alabama, crashed and destroyed. A body was found inside, but according to family members, it was burned beyond all recognition. So again, do we even know, is there any type of forensic data that this is actually him? What has concerned his family even more are the details left behind. LeBlanc's phone, his wallet, and even his dog were still at his apartment. I'm not really too concerned about the dog or why the dog's even in the article. The guy's supposed to be going to pick someone up from the airport or going to work. Why the hell would he have his dog, right? Family members said the unexpected detour and lack of communication do not match any of Joshua's plans for the day. Now they fear he may have been abducted from his home. So the family thought this back when this happened, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The family is urging Tesla to release video from the car's Sentry Mode system, which may have captured crucial footage.
Yeah.
So far, however, they say progress has been slow due to delays between the company and law enforcement agencies. Late Thursday, Alabama State Highway Patrol confirmed it is now leading the investigation, developing story. So
I was totally thinking about the Sentry Mode actually as you were reading that too. I was like, don't they have cameras on them, the Teslas?
So purpose there to show possibly mysterious purpose to show in the article.
Yeah.
You see this isn't even from now. It's from when this happened and the family was concerned then that something's fishy. So who's the third guy? James Tony Moffat, Moffatt. He was an aerospace and defense engineer and military veteran with ties to the Huntsville, Alabama community.
Wow.
We got a new trend here. Huntsville, Alabama. Amy Eskridge, two of these people and others. He was killed on April 17th, 2026. So, guys, this was recent, a month ago, in a small plane crash near Union County Airport, South Carolina.
You said April?
Along with his wife and two adult sons. Yes. I'm trying to continue it because I don't want to get cut out on the audio. April 17th, 2026, 1 month ago.
It wasn't a month ago. It's still April.
Like I said, a few days ago. A few days ago, guys. I'm thinking it's May already. There's a reason why I have something in my mind with about 3 or 4 dates at the beginning of May that I have to do.
You just wish they were over?
Something very, very, very important. So I've had the May date in my mind for a while now, a couple weeks. Anyways, April 17, 2026. So this was, today is April 22nd, 2026, right?
Last week.
So it was him, his wife, and two adult sons. Reporting states the family was returning to Huntsville and had stopped to refuel before the crash. The event was described as an aviation accident, resulting in multiple fatalities. And that is all there is on that particular story. It will be interesting to see what, if anything, comes out about that. That's getting added to the list. And, FBI is already involved. Congress people are calling for answers.
Finally.
Better investigation. Let me share one more thing with you. So let's just take a look at the now current list of mysteriously missing, mysteriously deceased, or deceased persons related to this topic. So we
mysteriously missing,
William Neal McCasland, who just recently went missing at the end of February. He's a retired major general. We have Monica Jacinto Reza. She disappeared about 9 months before him. Then we have Melissa Casillas, Stephen Abel Garcia, Anthony Tony Chavez, Daniel Robinson, Jason Thomas, Carl Grillmar. I believe he's the one who was shot on his porch by someone he had a previous run-in on his own property a couple months prior. Nuno Felipe Gomez Lurero, Frank Mywald, Michael David Hicks. Now, the Michael David Hicks, he is the one I believe that also was, came out with this whole topic recently. Not necessarily a recent event. However, the jury's still out on that one. I'm not finding much popping up with him. It does appear to be legit. However, just keep that in mind when we look at this new list of 15 people now.
Jesus,
Joshua
15?
LeBlanc, that we just heard about, James Tony Moffat, that we just heard about, Matthew James Sullivan, who we just heard about, and a previous story we did very recently, Amy Eskridge. Multiples in here having ties to NASA, multiples in here having ties to NASA JPL, multiple having ties to places like Wright-Patterson, Kirtland Air Force Base, as well as Palmdale, Plant 42. Numerous ties in here to Huntsville, Alabama. So we're already seeing a new trend develop here. Huntsville, Alabama. Amy Eskridge talked a lot about that. But here's the biggest goddamn problem I have here. You have this set of coincidences here involving some or all. I don't think it's all, but a good chunk. Then you have another set of coincidences here that pops up involving another chunk. And you have a completely different set of coincidences involving multiple people, and another set, and another set, another set, so on and so forth. And what gets me about that is a bunch of those coincidences overlap.
Oh,
there's overlapping coincidences here.
Not a coincidence anymore.
It is insane. And I'm hearing people talk about this now. Let me take this off the screen. I'm hearing more people talk about this now, and we're talking about professionals, retired professionals that having to do with investigative work, FBI, law enforcement, and they're talking about this stuff. Mainly I'm seeing on interviews, but I've already heard just today 2 of these types of people already saying, I don't work on coincidences. I don't believe in it. And that is based off of his job and what he used to do.
Yeah.
There's never a coincidence. There's a reason it happened, which is true. Now, coincidences are popping up here because we don't know the details. We're putting things together that may not necessarily be tied together. Here's the problem. There's 2 massively realistic ways of looking at the story of all these 15 people, okay? If you take a bird's eye view, let's say you are a satellite in space photographing the ground, you get the full view of all 15 people. You can't zoom in enough to see the details, the small details, but you can see all 15 and you can see the big coincidences, NASA JPL, these big places, right?
Yeah.
But when you pause that scenario and you zoom into ground level, boots on the ground, now you can't see everyone at the same time. You look at each one individually. So now you start looking at each one individually, and what you find is that with not all of these, but quite a few of these, there are very reasonable, plausible, prosaic explanations as to why they went missing or how they became deceased. McCasland is a perfect example, with his wife screwing around her words. One version on 911 call sounds like the real version, and then saying almost none of that a week later. And then a few weeks later, new info comes out like, wait, she said no, but turns out mental something going on. And then even more comes out. Very plausible reason why he may have disappeared. And she already knew beforehand. He'd talked about it. So you get to this ground level detail and you look at each single person here and you see there's very plausible reasons behind them, not saying that those reasons are matter of fact true, or if it is something more going on. I went back through the classification levels that I had ChatGPT create for me.
Yeah.
Added in these 4 people and it still comes out below normal. So the percentages as far as people that would be classified in the same way these people would be classified, so this 3 to 8 million person subset, now 5 people or 15 people instead of 11, compared to the rest of the US population, how many from both groups are missing or have died, and it seems mysterious, and the percentages still add up and are way below normal. So this is definitely well within a normal tolerance. However, come on. This is a thing countries do. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about, again, the professionals talking about this, and they're saying it looks weird. It really does. Some of them are not necessarily looking at a lot of the things a lot of us are looking at, but they're looking at some one-off little weird things that you wouldn't have even expected. And you hear them talk about it and you're like, I don't get it. Like, why is that a big deal? Like, phone, not necessarily phone left behind, but I forgot what the instance was, but they're talking about it, and they're even thinking there might be something to see here, but they're talking about foreign governments, foreign governments. None of them are addressing our own government. However, the people interviewing them are at times. This is a thing with governments in general. We've done it to other countries back in the day. Think nuclear bombs, all that
Yeah,
type.
but there's no way these people are going to speak out against their own government with, you know,
Well, no, I'm just
disappear.
making a point. It is a thing where
Yeah.
governments will go and take out or kidnap
Mhm.
scientists, people these levels from other countries,
Oh yeah.
either to take them out to hopefully give that country a technological advantage, or
Mhm.
maybe kidnap, bring them there, and force them to do the work there because they can't do it.
Yeah. No,
You know, it's a
yeah.
thing.
I mean, that
So
was one of our original thoughts, like
yeah,
in the
yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, and what is one of the other coincidences here that could tie this to our own government doing this rather than a foreign government? UAPs. We see numerous UAP issues here, coincidences. McCasland was over Wright Patterson. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
alone screams UAP. That's what turned me onto it on a short article with no details, was UAP related. What do you want to bet?
Yeah.
Do a Google search on them and like, oh my God, uh, Amy Eskridge, possible UAP. We just read 2 of the 3 UAP, and I think there's at least
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 more. So another coincidence. Everything's just lining up to show what the hell. So FBI's looking into it. Um, you know, an American 3-letter alphabet agency. I know a lot of us don't have much trust in that. It sucks we're not going to hear much about it once they investigate,
Yeah.
as far as their investigation goes. Hopefully, they come to a conclusion, and regardless of what it is, I hope they make it
Public.
available.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not some bullshit. We found there's nothing to see here, or we found they are all related and we're looking into that, and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I hope they really
Actually,
knows what's going on. So what do you where are you at now? Where do you stand on this now? We're at 14, possibly 15 people here.
I mean, I'm still pretty dead set that I believe it would be our government over a foreign government just at this current time.
Yep.
Because remember, kids, when they say your government wouldn't do that, yes, they would.
Yeah, if
So,
they say they wouldn't do something,
yes, they
don't
would.
trust that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think is a better, if it turns out it's a government somewhere, I think it's a better chance it's ours than a foreign government.
Yeah,
However, if it's a foreign government, I would most likely say
Russia.
probably the red one, the other red one,
Oh,
um,
okay.
because they've been implanting people here for a long time now, and it got really bad through Biden administration. We're buying up farmland, putting weird buildings out there, um, buying these massive properties such as farmland, and then it mysteriously they're not farming, they're doing nothing, and they're near sensitive military installations. I wouldn't doubt if it's a foreign government. Either way, when it comes to governments, I think it's probably ours if there is something to
I
see.
agree with that.
It makes the most sense. And you look at people like Monica Reza, like if that wasn't an animal attack, how did they get a hold of her? Like she just gone. Buddies are already at the parking lot. Like nobody weird was seen, nothing. Like
Do you
that
know
would be
how
easier.
quickly people can disappear in ghillie suits? Have you ever seen like one of those pictures where they're like trying
Yeah.
to find the military people?
No. You got to
Oh no.
remember, you're talking about something else happening with like the Monica Reza case. You a ghillie suit. You're talking about hiding, camping out, staying in place. Well, first you got to know she's going to be there. Second,
Fair.
you got to be hiding in the perfect, exact right spot at the
Fair.
right time because she's with 2 other people. You don't know how or when she's going to split up for them, if she's going to split up from them at all.
You
Right?
know what?
So, when you talk about hiding like that, I don't find that very
I'm just
plausible.
saying, SEAL team Like they're crazy. Like they can do some impossible shit. Like I'm pretty sure the Green Berets, the Frogmen, the SEALs, they can all they can do things that we could never even think of. So hey, if it was our
Yeah,
own government, I could only assume that it would be a specialized team to whisk her away.
it would be a specialized team, but we're not talking about one person in a ghillie suit. Because
I,
again, your only chance in that spot is if she becomes separated from her
it
friend
was just an idea
and comes
in
there.
order to
So,
camouflage oneself.
so I don't think a lone wolf scenario.
I
in
wasn't
her
saying a
case-
lone wolf scenario.
I'm not saying you were.
Okay.
Relax. What I'm saying is, I don't think most lone wolf scenarios are an answer on that. I've thought about that just because you'd literally have to have the perfect storm of events to be able to pull that one off.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you could easily take control over a Tesla through technology. It's been proven, and drive it into a wall. But why I'm saying that with Monica Reza is it's also important to remember, with her case, it could very well be an animal attack like a mountain lion. But just because all these look weird doesn't mean they all are weird. There may be something nefarious going on. That doesn't mean that something nefarious has happened with all of these 15 people. It could only be 6 of them. We don't know, right? There are some very plausible explanations for some of these. You have to remember that and keep it grounded.
Yeah.
So that's all that is. I think we said this a few days ago recording. Probably have another one in a week or so. Let's just say 2 now. Fuck, let's bump it up a notch. We just got 3 or 4. So any final thoughts for these 15 people and the missing ones that maybe could be alive?
Here's to hoping for you.
Here's to hoping for the American population and humanity in general, because if this is foul play, I mean, where do you even go? With that said, pun intended, we are going to go missing again.